Hey y'all, welcome to Sunshine Haze. I'm Aja A. For those of y'all that have never seen one of my videos before, for those of you that have, welcome back. What's good? Thanks for tuning in again. What's up to what's up? We ain't even 30 seconds and I'm tongue twisted already. What's up to all of my new subscribers? Thank you for tuning into my channel. Thanks for coming here to get a little bit of knowledge from me. I appreciate you. I really do appreciate y'all. We are in a transformative time. Things seem or kind of feel like they're starting to slow down, which is very interesting because it's kind of the complete opposite of what's going on. It's just a lot of the chaotic things that we were dealing with this summer, like the eclipses and, you know, the super moons and things like that. Those are moving out, and although we'll be feeling that eclipse effect, you know, we deal with that for months, and the things that the eclipse touches for months. Things are starting to slow down. Mercury is no longer in retrograde. It's Mars? Yeah, Mars. I think Mars is direct too. Saturn just went direct. Jupiter is now direct. Like, things are starting to shift. We're getting ready to go into the fall. We're ending the summer season, so it seems like things are starting to slow down. But as you guys know, this is an 11-year, so as we've all been learning, things are not slowing down for us this year, but it does feel like we're chilling a little bit, just a tad bit. Excuse me. Before I get started, as I do in all of my videos, drop my quick plugs. Since this is the new Moon in Virgo video, check out my tarot forecast for this lunar cycle, looking at mid-September to mid-October. We did just come out of hella retrogrades, but we are going into another very significant retrograde coming up in October. We're in the shadow period of it now, so check out my retrograde series. My voice has not been hoarse all day. I'm like, what is good? I'm sorry, y'all. What else? Retrograde. I spoke about the eclipses. If you're interested in seeing what the eclipses had to do with your life this year, or during this time or on this axis, go on and check out the eclipse series as well. And since we are rounding out the summer, I always like to go back and reflect on I said always, like I've had my channel for more than a year. But I do like to go back and look at the summer readings that I've done. So I do have a summer solstice tarot forecast up that you guys can go on and check out and see, like, kind of what's changed, what happened for you, see how close it came. And then also, with that being said, I'll have an autumn equinox excuse me, an autumn equinox tarot forecast coming out in a couple weeks, maybe next week. I don't know, probably next week. All right, you guys, so let's just get straight into it. We are now in a new lunar cycle. We are moving away from wild ass Leo. Thank you. No, actually, Leo lunar season was actually pretty popping for me. But Mercury was also in retrograde, which is my Mercury. It's weird, I don't know. We're moving away from Leo lunar season. We just came off of a Pisces full moon. So, as I said, we're now in a new lunar season, and that means we're having a new moon, y'all. For those of y'all that just don't know anything about what I'm talking about, new moon is the time when the moon, earth, and the sun are aligned, and the side of the moon that is facing us is not illuminated, so we can't see. It's as if there is no moon in the sky for us to look at. It's there, but it appears to be invisible. So new moons symbolize new beginnings, cycles, change, and they also come along with a little bit of mystery, and because the moon governs our emotions, dealing with the mystery and just not knowing and the unknown, that comes with a little bit of anxiety. And I do differentiate between the 2 points in the lunar cycle, the full moon and the new moon. For me, the full moon affects my emotions a lot more than the new moon does. It does depend on your chart, but generally I've seen that the new moon tends to bring in a little bit of tension, a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of just, you know, stress. That's the best way that I can put it. Stress surrounding the things that you're not understanding or the things that you're not seeing clearly, if that makes sense. This time around, we're having a lunar cycle in Virgo. That is an earth sign. Y'all know I love my earth signs. But this year's been crazy. The moon and earth signs this year hasn't been all that great for me, but this particular moon shadow it's been pretty popping. So for those of you guys that are not Virgos and don't really take the time out to look up any other sign but your own, trust me, I understand. I was the same way before I really got into studying astrology. Virgos are an earth sign. They are very grounded. They're very practical. They're known for their, analytical minds. Very, very organized. Excuse me. And Virgos don't really resonate with a lot of emotion. They're not very emotive. Virgos are also a mutable sign, and mutable signs are the signs that end the seasons, and they're the signs that kind of help usher along the change that has been initiated by the cardinal signs and built upon by the fixed signs. So the mutable signs come in and say, okay, hey, we've got everything that we need. All right, I'm here to help move us from this point to the next. Excuse me. And so Virgo ends the summer season. And I'll talk a little bit more about what that means for this lunar cycle in a second, but that is just a brief on, the Virgo zodiac for those of you guys that are like, what's a Virgo? Beyonce's a Virgo, for those of y'all that don't know. If you want to look at, excuse me, the type of energy that those people put out, very, very determined, very organized, very, if you look at Beyonce's career, and I used to be a B stan, y'all. If you look at the growth in her career and the ways in which she approached it and the strategies that she put into place, very Virgo-esque of her. And I don't know her other, her rising or her moon sign. I don't really be looking up Beyonce like that. But I can tell you some other celebrity signs. But just that's an example of the Virgo qualities. So yeah. New Moon in Virgo was yesterday. I really wanted to get this video up, but as y'all know, I'm not known for putting my videos up on time, except for during the Mercury retrograde in Leo. Like, what is that about? It was on the 9th. That was Sunday at 2:01? Yeah, at 2:01 p.m. And with this new moon being in the earth element, as I said earlier, the new moon isn't the most emotive time of the lunar cycle. For some people it is, but from what I've seen, it's not. This also being an earth moon is also an indicator that this is not going to be extremely emotional for us. This particular moon is focused more so on new beginnings and new foundations that we are emotionally invested in, like our careers, in regards to careers that we're passionate about, or like our relationships or our friendships, or the ways like our money and how we're making our money. This also sounds very Venus retrograde, but that's another video which I'll be recording right after this one, so y'all can check that one out as well. Basically, new beginnings, new cycles, for all things tangible for us right now. That's the best way that I think I could put it. Since we're talking about Virgo, this new moon is going to bring in an energy for us to where we start to see, and it's interesting when I talk about the new moon now, because I feel like I'm talking about the full moon, because I'm like, oh, you're starting to see, but this is just new beginnings. So with the new moon being in Virgo, this lunar cycle being in Virgo, this is going to be a time for us where we are really buckling down and taking a look at our routines. And that could be in regards to, like I said, like your career, in regards to, your family or your relationships, your friendships, your finances, your living situation, just really taking a step back. And because we're talking about Virgo, and I talked about how Virgo is very analytical and very practical, you're going to be looking at, okay, is everything that I have going on here the way that I want it to be? Is everything that I have going on here the most beneficial to me as it can be? Or am I reaching the goals that I wanted to reach? And am I approaching these things in a practical, in a logical way? And that doesn't have to say that it has to be black and white, like you have to follow a certain path, but this time is for you to figure out, okay, is the path that I'm on the path that is going to best serve me for whatever it is that I'm trying to do? Virgo is very organized. So we can also look at this time kind of, the term I want to use is spring cleaning, but it's interesting because we're actually going into the fall. So this particular spring cleaning, this end of summer cleaning, is like the initiator to the transformative energy that the fall season brings in. So as I said, although this is not a full moon, because it's Virgo, really the theme of this moon is, does this make sense for me? And if it doesn't, how can I get to where I want to be in the most logical way that works for me, that's in alignment with me and my highest good? This moon is really going to put, you know, like I mentioned this earlier, this moon is really going to put a lot of things into perspective for you guys. Virgo is not an air sign, but it is an earth sign that really resonates with a lot of air energy. Virgos are always in their head because they are so grounded and so successful because they're always thinking about the next step, always thinking about the best step. And I think that is more important than thinking about the next step. In all honesty, Virgos are, I'm thinking about the best step and the next step, whereas most of us are just thinking about the next step, or some of us are just thinking about the best step. But Virgos have that, they just have that, that niche to where they can actually combine those two energies and really, really make themselves successful, or whatever it is that they touch. It's like almost like they kind of got the magic touch, the Midas touch. Everything they touch turns to gold. And if you know any Virgos, I know a few Virgos. There's actually Marias I went to high school with. Actually, I think we went to elementary school together too. We're a few years apart, but she recently started a YouTube channel, and I don't pay too much attention to everybody else's growth, but what I have seen is in the way that when she first started marketing her channel and her new business, she has a clothing boutique, an online boutique store as well. And I'm gonna plug all this in the video, girl. Don't you even trip. It's gonna be right there on the bottom. But from when she first really got into doing this YouTube channel to where she is now, and it hasn't been that long. I want to say we've been doing this both or for about the same amount of time. If she might have been going a little bit longer than me, I'm not sure. But the way in which her channel is growing and the way in which I don't know how her sales are going, but I have a background in communications and marketing. So I'm looking at her pages like, girl, I don't know what you got going on over there, but it's popping. Like, it looks really good to me. And that is her Virgo coming out. So that's another example for you guys. Really putting into perspective the ways in which we're going about doing things and making the best moves to bring us towards success. So one, check out her YouTube channel. Here it is. And then also check out her online boutique. Here is the Instagram handle for it. All right, you guys, going back into Virgo. I didn't even mean to do that plug, but that was a really good example. Like the way that she does her shit is just, I'm like, okay, I like the way you move in your business, very entrepreneurial. What was I saying? Putting perspective. As I was saying, what makes sense? And so we're talking about earthly things, again, foundations, finances, career, relationships, sometimes. The perspective this time, I was saying Virgo resonates with a little bit of air energy, is really looking at things, and this is going to be looking at, at work. Am I making the money I'm supposed to be making? Okay, and if I am, if I'm not, could I be making more? Is there a way to be more successful here? In your friendships and your relationships, okay, are these friendships helping me, water the seeds that I've planted, or, are they weighing me down? Does me being this person's friend or being in this relationship still make sense? As far as like your finances go, you guys might this month find yourself, I wrote it in my planner the other day. I said, make a financial plan for the next 3 months. Find yourself really taking the time out to organize your finances and come up with a budget and figure out where you want to put your money and how you want to invest your money and how to flip your money to where you can really monetize. You know what I'm saying? So very, very, this is all about your business time, and it also comes with the energy of it. For me, I just don't like cold weather, and I'm a summer baby. I've been feeling like, oh, it's about to get cold, I'm sad. But I've also been feeling like this urge, this drive to like, okay, girl, you know the things that you want to do, you've got an end goal. Are you approaching your end goal in the most logical way? Does the way that you're trying to reach your goals make sense? And what a lot of us will find during this lunar cycle is that they don't. The things we've been doing are completely fucking backwards, and that's because everything's been in retrograde for like the past 4 or 5 months. And the planets that really affect the way our foundations and our perspective and things like that are all getting ready to go direct. So if they haven't already gone direct, like Saturn is direct now. And when I tell you, like, that energy came in strong, that energy came in strong, okay? Like, it with a K, it came in really strong. Like, the opportunities that I was presented with, I did a reading on the day that Saturn went direct. And then a couple days later, I was presented with some opportunities that like kind of blew my mind, which I've been intending and manifesting these things for quite some time now, but the fact that they became tangible like kind of blew me. Like, whoa, shit, Saturn really went direct, y'all, and Jupiter is direct too. Like, oh, okay, I'm with it. So you know, good time for us. Anything that you've really been trying to get popping, now is the time, if you haven't already started it, to at least initiate it. Again, Virgo is mutable. Virgo is the sign that deals with ending the summer season. And as y'all know, the summer comes with the energy, comes with the fire energy, comes with the energy of taking action, willpower, drive, intention. That's ending. We're about to go into the season of change, right? Make the changes we need to make to where we come into alignment with all these actions that we've taken. So with Virgo being mutable and ending the season and trying to bring us into the change, it says right now is the time. If you haven't these new moon intentions, if you do moon intentions, if you don't, listen, if you don't do new moon intentions, I am advising that you actually do them for this lunar cycle. This is one of the best lunar cycles. I don't want to say one of the best, but this is one of the lunar cycles in the year with a very strong energy that can but can really ground and help you carry out the things that you are trying to manifest positively. Just as long as, remember to manifest positively, y'all, okay? All right, let's shift a little bit. Actually, not yet. Briefly, I try to touch on the shadow side of these signs a little bit for every lunar cycle, every moon video that I do. So talking about Virgo's negative characteristics, Virgo can be a little critical, Virgo can be overly critical at times. And then also Virgos can be perfectionists to the point to where they're just extremely tedious and meticulous. So with those energies, because it is the moon and we're talking about our emotions, and we're really focusing on the things that we really want to build upon in the ways and the best ways to get to the bread or get to the success. Some things that may come up for us during this time are going to be this energy of being very overly critical of ourselves. Kind of like mad at yourself for doing something, thinking back on things that you can't change, like, oh, why did I do this? Why did I do that? I should have done things like this. Because you're analyzing. That's that Virgo energy, because you're thinking about things and breaking things down. But like I said, that is the shadow side of Virgo. So it's very important this time to remember that, okay, as you're reflecting on these things, remember that that's all it is a reflection. You don't have to sit and wallow in the negative revelations that you come to, like, you know, acknowledge it, accept it. If you got to work through it, and keep it pushing, charge it to the game. Again, a little bit on the shadow side of Virgo, because we are going to be doing things and where we're trying to build, we're trying to make sure that we are really grounding ourselves in the things that we want to see pop off for us. Virgo can be a perfectionist, so during this time you might find yourself going hand in hand with that kind of like, you know, disdain for yourself, that little nagging that you're going to be giving to yourself during this time. And I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. We're all going to come to that at some point in this lunar cycle, to where we're like, dude, why the fuck? What were you thinking? Why did you do that? Why didn't you do this like this? Also going to be building, trying to plan things. So you may find yourself like dwelling too long and too much on one thing, or devoting too much energy to one thing because you want it to be perfect. Perfection is not a real concept. That's what I always say, that I say perfection does not exist. So I wouldn't, if you find yourself trying to say this has to be perfect, this has to go like this, and this, if you haven't learned already in this crazy ass 11 year that, what do they say? The best way to make God laugh is to tell him your plans. You haven't learned already that things don't go exactly how you want them to. This Virgo lunar cycle is gonna come in and kick your ass, because that's what although you may tap into that energy, that's what you're going to try to combat. You really want to just be on the positive side of this lunar cycle, focusing on, making sure that the things that you're trying to do and the ways in which you're trying to build and gain success make sense and are logical. Like, it doesn't have you all over the place, okay? You want to resonate in earth energy. All right, now we can make this shift. This Virgo moon was in 17 degrees, so that's a double-digit number, and it comes with 1 and 7. So the number 1, when talking about numerology, carries the energy of new beginnings, and we're in a new moon, so that amplifies that new beginnings energy. Cycles, independence, and also 1 is a number of manifestation. Next to the 1, you have the 7, which 7 is considered the divine number. It's a number of spirituality, it's a number of philosophy, of thought, and it is also a number of truth and coming to the truth. So we have these 2 energies together coming in with this new Virgo moon. So again, the new beginnings energy is amplified. That's another reason why I was saying this is one of the best moons to do those new moon intentions for. Alongside the 7, this time in the year, as I'm saying, we're going into the fall season. I'm talking about all this change and transformation. As everything, every other lunation in this year has been very important, but this one being in 17 degrees is an indicator saying, hey, listen, all the things that you're trying to build upon, the things that you are trying to shift to make sure that you make them happen in the best way possible, this is very important for you. This is actually, again, divinely timed. This is what you're supposed to be doing in life. So the things that you feel pulled towards during this lunar cycle, don't resist it, especially if it's positive, and especially if it promotes change. That is very big. We're ending the summer season and coming into the fall, guys, all right? That 17 degrees breaks down to the number 8, and the number 8 has everything to do with, again, cycles, karmic cycles. It's the infinity number. And 8 also has to do with growth, and it is a number of success. It is a number of abundance, and again, it's higher up, so it does carry a very highly spiritual vibration. This being, again, in the Virgo lunar cycle, is those things that we're building upon. How I was saying they're divinely timed. This 8, this number this degrees breaking down to 8 is saying, no, yeah, these things that you're trying to build upon, especially if you're lending the energy of, okay, I need a process that's logical, I need a process that really works, stay on that path, because 8 is the money number. So just keep that in mind. Everything that you're manifesting and intending during this lunar cycle, or especially during, I do my intentions during the shadow. I did mine actually on the 9th. So, and it's up to you. You can do them up to, the full moon if you want to, but I would suggest doing them at least within that first week. But yeah, that's the successful number. That's the number of abundance. So this Virgo moon is really good for us. As any moon is good for us, but there's been a few videos where I've told y'all, like, look, this moon gonna come in and fuck some shit up. This Virgo moon will probably not come in and fuck shit up, but it will come in and start to initiate probably very major change, which we'll start to see pop in within the next couple of months. This moon fell on an 11 day, and y'all know I'm a little 11, so I like talking about my number. 11 is a master number, so it's one of those numbers that carries an even more amplified spiritual vibration. It is the number of enlightenment, it's the number of healing, it's the number of creativity and creation. This Virgo moon being on an 11 day, I thought was very interesting, because the full moon in Virgo was in 11 degrees. So I said, something's up there. The universe is like, yeah, y'all, pay attention. I got something for you. So enlightenment. Although this is not a full moon, during this lunar cycle, you're going to be able to make sense of what you need to make sense of. healing. This Virgo moon helping us heal the ways in which we are not really, that's not how I want to word that. It's Virgo moon. Our bad habits, this moon is going to help us heal those bad habits, breaking us out of those bad habits to where we're creating new good habits, new good routines, if that makes sense. What else do I got there? Notes all over this page. What doesn't make sense? What makes sense? What is logical for us and the things that we want to do? That's all that's there for that. This moon coming in September is in the 9th month. Again, the number 9 carries a very highly spiritual vibration, as well as the last single digit before we get into the master numbers. And the number 9 deals with endings, ending cycles. So this being in the 9th month, I think really taps into that transformative energy. Again, talking about Virgo being mutable, being the sign that carries us to and through the change. So just keep in mind, you guys, this moon, this lunar cycle, this is all happening for a reason. Like I say this in every video, this is divine timing. The things that are going on for you right now in this moment during this lunar cycle are supposed to be happening. So pay attention to, pay attention to the things that you feel pulled towards doing. Pay attention to changes and shifts that you feel like you need to make in all things tangible, in your foundations, in your careers, in your finances, in your relationships, in your familiar relationships, in your friendships, in your intimate relationships, you know. And 9 is a karmic number. 8 is a karmic number. And so is 11. 11 is a master number. 11 is not necessarily karmic, but it is a very highly spiritual number, put it like that. So yeah, you guys, this new moon, this lunar cycle in Virgo, again, is not going to be very emotional, but it is going to be geared towards the things that we're emotionally invested in and kind of bringing us into balance with them to where, you know, we're not just on the side of desire, we're on the side of action coupled with desire now, with this Virgo energy coming off of that Pisces energy. Like, okay, we know what we want to create now, we know what we want to bring in, we know what we love, so now let's build upon that. And if we've already been building upon that, now let's go back and, you know, reevaluate our process. Is the process, or is the path that we're taking, you know, does it make sense? Does it make sense? Virgo lunar cycle, does this make sense? Okay, that's what you guys need to be, that should be your motto through mid-October, to be completely honest. Does this make sense? And if it doesn't make sense, do away with it and go do something that does make sense. Do something that can serve you, okay? Again, with this being a new moon, there may be a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of tension, and it being in Virgo, that being in regards to being overly critical of yourself and possibly others and things that other people are doing. And then on top of that, you're also trying to be a little bit of a perfectionist during this time, but try to stray away from that and just focus more so on really watering those seeds that you've planted and making sure that, you know, you're using alkaline water, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, you're using the right water to water your seeds. This new moon in Virgo is going to affect people with, you know, their personal planets in Virgo, so sun, moon, or your rising, and you know, Mercury and Venus I consider personal planets too, but if you've got your sun, moon, or rising in Virgo, you can definitely expect to feel this a little bit more than others. Also, what I'm noticing is my Jupiter's in Virgo, and things have been really picking up for me. So any planet that you have in Virgo, you can expect to see whatever that planet governs to be a little affected by this moon. But especially if you've got your moon in Virgo, for sure you're gonna feel this, personal planet, sun and moon. If you've got a Virgo heavy chart, you can expect to be really pulled by this moon. What's the degree? 17. Your personal planets close to 17 degrees either side of being within 6 or 7 degrees. The closer you get to 17, the more you will be affected by this moon. And then what else, y'all? Virgo heavy charts, people with Virgo moons. Oh, that's it. So if you got anything that I just said, expect to feel the moon. Okay, y'all. that is it for this Virgo lunar cycle. That's it for this Virgo video. I plugged pretty much everything in the beginning, but I'm gonna tell y'all again, go on and check out the new Moon in Virgo tarot forecast. Go on and check out the end of, I'm sorry, not the end of summer, the summer solstice forecast if you want to just kind of reflect on your summer. Look out for the autumn equinox forecast. Those will be coming up within the next couple weeks. My retrograde videos, y'all, Venus is going into retrograde, and I did talk about a little bit about kind of looking at your friendships and your relationships, like, does this make sense? I'm feeling it because I believe that this retrograde is passing my 11th house, but like Venus is not here to play with us either, and I talk about this a lot more in the Venus retrograde video, so go on and check that out as well. For those of you that are interested in my jewelry or, you know, tarot readings or a numerology chart, I am having an end of summer sale, 30% off. I will be starting the sale this Friday, which will be the 14th. Friday, September 14th, and it will be going through the last day of summer, which I believe is the 21st or the 22nd. I'm not sure about the dates, but just know that it starts Friday and it ends on the last day of summer. So if you've been wanting, you know, some chakra jewelry or, you know, some waist beads, you guys can see my waist beads today. Some chakra jewelry or some waist beads or, you know, a pendant or, like I said, your numerology chart or a reading, they will be 30% off starting on the 14th through the last day of summer, okay? I think those are all of my plugs, so that is really it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, hit that little thumbs up button for me down below. If you have any questions or comments, go on and drop them down below. I do check my channel pretty frequently, so I will respond to you as long as it's positive. No space for hate here. Spread love. And as y'all have heard, my Mercury's in Leo, so if you ain't know that I'm gonna come at your neck, understand that. When I say like, comment, if you like these videos and want to keep up with what I'm putting, what I'm talking about, whatever's going on in the cosmos, go on and subscribe so you can keep up with when I put out new videos. If you know anybody who is a Virgo or is interested in this Virgo lunar cycle, or you feel like could benefit from watching this video and picking up a little bit of this information, go on and send them the video. Y'all send my videos all the time. It contributes a great deal to the growth of my channel. I truly appreciate it. And that's it. That's it for the shameless plugs. Thank you again, y'all. I will see y'all next time.